finally found what I was looking
for. Hi, I'm Rusty.
Wanna play?
Hello everyone! It's been like, what, over 3 months since I made my last countdown? Anyway, it's that special time of the year again. Halloween has come. And I've decided to do the standard scary moments in video games bit cause, you know, why not? And I'm well aware that everyone and their great-grandmother have already done a list like this, but so what? We love to be scared. There's something just so primal and universal about fear, and a good horror story can really bring out the best of it, making our hearts race and our minds peer into the darkest recesses of the human mind. And it keeps us coming back for more. It's so amazing that one of my favorite bands of all time, Nightwish, even dedicated at least 2 songs in their last album to the thrills you get from scary and spooky things, and in the month dedicated to all things creepy, strange and frightening, I think it'd be in bad taste not to make something that celebrates horror in video games. The rules this time around are a bit different. Since I haven't played that many scary games, but rather have watched a lot of people play them, as long as I've been personally scared by something I witnessed, I'll count it. And I'm also including non-horror games. Oh, and the one pick per franchise thing still applies. So here it is, guys, for your viewing pleasure. My top 10 personal scary moments in video games. Let's see you try to sleep soundly in the night. While Arkham Asylum isn't an all-out horror game, it definitely has plenty of horrific elements to it. Considering you wander around an asylum filled with some of the most crazy, disturbed, dangerous, and bloodthirsty maniacs in the world, there's plenty of reasons to be scared. Not even being the Dark Knight himself is enough of a comfort to put our minds at ease. So, with such a rich environment for scary things to fester, which moment did I pick? While I'll admit that the first and last Scarecrow segments are more disturbing than the Beatles rock band intro, I'm gonna have to go with Killer Croc's lair. Killer Croc isn't necessarily a traditional quote-unquote boss fight, but it excels in causing tension through anticipation. I mean, you can only move at a walking speed through the sewers. Run too fast and it's fall in the water and don't react fast enough when he randomly pops out of the water and charges at you. Well, you get the picture. Additionally, this entire boss fight allures to the old urban legends of crocodiles in sewer systems. Plus, when Croc pops out of the water, it's really freaking nerve-wracking. It flat out causes you to panic, and it honestly scares me. And besides, it's a good way to start off the list too. Hideo Kojima is known for his zany and wacky tastes. And in a franchise like Metal Gear Solid, that sort of thing kinda sticks out more than Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2. So when Metal Gear Solid 3 came along, Kojima just flipped his table out of frustration and said, "Ah, fuck it, let's have fun with it." And out came Snake Eater, and this game is by no stretch of the imagination one of the wackier Metal Gear Solid games, and sadly that didn't rub off the right way with me. I mean, the weirdness was just a bit too out there for me. But one of the few things I did like about this game was the sorrow.
I am the sorrow.
What sets the sorrow apart from his mates is that the entire battle with him is essentially a mini judgment day. You're made to walk down a river filled with the souls of the dead soldiers you killed up to that point. And this part is a huge, insane guilt trip from both Kojima and the Sorrow. They're both punishing you, the player, for committing so much unnecessary death in a game that encourages stealth. But depending on how many people you killed prior to this point, you could potentially be wading through a never-ending river of hundreds of ghosts or an empty big nothing. But since I was a little trigger happy when I first MGS3, I might have been a bit, what's the word, genocidal when I went and faced the enemy. It's quite an interesting game mechanic, one that causes the player to reflect on the ridiculous kill counts that we rack up in games. But what's really scary about the Sorrow is his attack. Jesus! That and the fact that you can't kill him. In fact, the only way to end the battle is to let him kill you. Or for you to kill yourself. Okay, I'm picking up some really misleading vibes here, Kojima. What gives? Pyramid Head. Just fucking Pyramid Head, okay? This thing is just horrifying. And to this day, I still get the chills just by looking at him. Of all the denizens of this nightmarish town that is Silent Hill, he is definitely the most memorable, as well as being the most disturbing too. This guy's reputation definitely precedes him, since he's been haunting our nightmares since his first appearance in Silent Hill 2, manifesting himself as James's desire for self-punishment for what he did to his wife. That huge hunk of metal he carries over with him is unnervingly creepy. And I bet you that the first time you lay your eyes on that horrifying monster carrying that huge sword, you'll jump right out of your skin. Speaking of skin, that scene in the Silent Hill movie where he rips the skin off a woman with his bare hands didn't help much either. It's not like I need to sleep. Nah, sleep is overrated. Sleep is for babies. You guys know Dead Space, right? Yeah, I thought so. I gotta say, for a game I haven't played, the first Dead Space is the scariest of the 3 games released so far. It provided me with some of the most intense scares and arguably some of the most hilarious good times at the competent hands of Let's Players such as Psychedelic Snake and Vash12349. But oddly enough, this scary moment isn't even in the game. Sure, the game is crazy scary, but there just wasn't one specific moment that stood out to me. This scary moment is none other than the trailer for Dead Space.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. When the blazing sun is gone, when the nothing shines upon.
And if a trailer alone can make my skin crawl and my hair stand up, then that's a hell of a good job. But sweet grilled Jesus! These guys used one of the sweetest, most innocent lullabies from our childhood, and they screwed around with it so it gets progressively more disturbing, and they play it as they show in-game footage so mentally scarring that it would even make Pyramid Head and Colonel Volgan throw up. Why must you rape my childhood?
You son of a bitch.
Oh, Pokemon. I have such sweet memories of you. Gen 1 was all about building friendships with your Pokemans and being on a journey to be the very best Pokemon trainer. It was so innocent, so carefree, so pure and screw this build-up. It's Lavender Town and you know it. Okay, I gotta ask this. What the actual hell, Nintendo? What possessed you to put such an abysmal contrast to the general vibe of the game and plant it dead smack in one freaking town? And the worst part is that this irrational fear I got from my Gen 1 days is still pretty much present today. I mean, this shit used to scare my nipples right off of me. And then the internet came along, and you people started spreading creepypastas. And now I can't even so much as hear this fucking tune without getting the chills and rock hard nipples. Thanks, internet! In Okami, there's very few scary elements present. You might always be fighting demons and all, but they're not particularly scary looking. Even scary characters like Mr. and Mrs. Cutter didn't really feel scary, but rather just intimidating. But then you get to Ryoshima Coast. But when you get to Ryoshima Coast, my pick for this spot is right off the coast and is one of the first things you notice upon arrival. The sunken ship. This place just gives off the right vibe for a truly scary level. Not only is this a sunken ship, it's also a ghost ship. The place is filled with otherworldly things I honestly didn't expect to find in Okami. Things such as the creepy freaking dolls and the monsters living inside treasure chests. And even the ghosts that don't stop in celestial brush mode. And this gross looking giant hand monster. Oh, and let's not forget the cherry on top of the cake. The ghosts of both the Spider Queen and the Crimson Helm who block your screen and scare the living bejesus out of you. Needless to say, I was immensely happy when I hightailed out of there. I'm just gonna say who's at number 4 straight away because I got a lot to explain. Number 4 is Experiment 173 from SCP Containment Breach. Why Experiment 173 specifically? Well, one of the most startling things that genuinely frightened me to my very core, that caused me to be paralyzed with fear in all media, is the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. The concept behind these creatures chills me to my bones. And if you don't know what a Weeping Angel is...
What's wrong with you?
Well, I think the Doctor does a better job at explaining this than I do, so take it away, Doc.
No one quite knows where they came from, but they're as old as the universe, or very nearly, and they have survived this long because they have the most perfect defense system ever evolved. They are quantum locked. They don't exist when they're being observed. The moment they are seen by any other living creature, they freeze into rock. No choice, it's a fact of their biology. In the sight of any living thing, they literally turn to stone. And you can't kill a stone. Of course, a stone can't kill you either, but then you turn your head away. Then you blink. And oh yes, it can.
And you better believe that the same principle of the Weeping Angels is almost the same as Experiment 173. He's relentless, he's unstoppable, and he will get you. So whatever you do, no matter where you go, run. Just run. But most importantly,
don't blink. Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead.
The fucking ghost from Fatal Frame 2. Done. Okay, I guess I better elaborate on this a bit. Fatal Frame 2 is possibly the scariest out of the 4 games in the franchise, though that's open to discussion among fans. But I don't think there's been a game in this series where you are so prevalently aware of the ghosts, and that effing aggravates me. It's like in Arkham Asylum in Croc's lair. You know they're out there, you know they're coming, but the anticipation fucking kills you! And at that very moment, when you drop your guard, boom!
Surprise, motherfucker!
You see this kid? Fuck this kid! Seriously, fuck this pilly-ass, diaper-wearing motherfucker! I had my very first mini heart attack when this thing showed up out of the blue like that. Not to mention any part of the game involving the Kusabi, getting snatched up by the woman in the box, or the laughing ghost girl is incredibly eerie and terrifying. Oh, and let's not forget that unforgettable underwear ruining moment. Trying to position the ghost into a fatal frame, praying that by the time you take the picture, the thing hasn't already lunged at you. Here's something very few people know about me. I'm okay with most forms of bugs in the world. In fact, some of them I find kind of cute. But what I can't stand, what I absolutely cannot even lay eyes on, and what makes me scream like a little girl faster than a preteen looking at a One Direction pinup photo, is locusts. So imagine my reaction when I saw the bloody Novistadors in Resident Evil 4.
This looks like a fun place where fun things happen! Fuck! Shit!
Seriously, what the hell? I know mutants and zombies are practically mandatory for a Resident Evil game, and even though giant mutated animals have already been used before, nothing else made me sprint out of my room faster than this thing. Good God, look at it. It's so nauseating. I know this might seem petty to some people, but look at the title. Go on, look. Right, it's a personal list. So get off my back, Kay. Besides, it's not like I stopped playing Resi 4 altogether after that. I manned the fuck up and killed those freaks of nature. Every last one of them. Cause mama didn't raise no bitch. But it was scary as shit. I'm sorry, mama. I'm sorry. I ain't no bitch. I ain't no bitch. Throughout this countdown, you've witnessed elements of horror that barely scratch the surface of true horror. True primal fear is hard to come by in the modern world, and this applies to video games as well. But I found it. I've dared to look straight into the abyss, and it answered me with a vision of true fear. We've seen examples of fear through ambience, through anticipation, through disgust, unexpected presence, music, and even disturbing content. My most fearsome experience in a video game was a much more psychological experience, and it came from a game that, at first glance, doesn't inspire much cause for fear. A simple 16-bit game for the PSP.
What a twist!
But this little 16-bit 2D gem of a game is Corpse Party. And Corpse Party plays out like some of the best Japanese horror films, where death is unavoidable and inevitable. You can run, but you cannot not die. You are rendered helpless, with no way to defend yourself. You're locked in an unescapable, otherworldly school where vengeful spirits seek to end your life in the most grisly, inhumane way imaginable. All the while directly infiltrating your and your friends' minds to drive you and them insane to the point of paranoia, to the point of madness and suicide, in a little process called the darkening. The longer you stay at Heavenly Host Elementary School, the more utterly exhausted, certifiably insane, and ravenously hungry you and your friends will become, causing students to turn against one another, resorting to cannibalism, hanging themselves, or simply suffer a nervous breakdown. Thus is the workings of the darkening. So imagine this. You are thrown into such a place along with your friends and the one person that means the world to you. The one person you would give your life for. So alone, you start to wander this hulking death trap of a school. Along your way, you see the corpses of other less fortunate souls who resided briefly in Heavenly Host. Some were reduced to nothing but bones, others still had a bit more meat in them. Your sense of reality starts to fade. Your fear starts to get a grip on you, and you take a picture of the corpse as a way to keep your sanity.
Yeah, 'cause that doesn't make you look psychotic at all.
You continue onward, looking for your beloved. You walk and walk for what seems like an eternity, always remembering to take a picture of the horribly mutilated corpses you walk by. There's nothing to drink, nothing to eat, and you were lucky enough to escape the ghosts trapped in this place. You feel so very tired, and there's still no sign of her. You start to despair. You take a look at the pictures you took, trying to appease your sanity.
By the way, that's not even remotely creepy, you wanker.
One of these pictures in particular seems to fascinate you.
Oh, God.
You don't know why, but you find it so very beautiful.
Oh, jeez.
It's almost like art.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And then your phone rings. No caller is registered. Yet, you answer and hear her. It's her! She beckons you, but you can't make out her words. What is it that she's trying to say? You lean in closer and you hear this. With no other choice but to face reality, with nothing left to live for, without a shred of sanity left in you, you give in to the darkening. And this, my friends, is the outcome. a truly superb downfall into the hellish pits of insanity. A one-way trip to the collective dark place in the reaches of our mind that no one dares venture. This was the most frightening moment that I experienced in a video game, and I hope it now is yours as well. This has been That Rusty Gamer, aka the Red Eye Hound, and happy Halloween, kiddies! Oh, and you should totally check out the Corpse Party OVA episodes. They're a royal, bloody, gory spectacle. Mwahaha, some more, and bye-bye!
Hey, I'm hardened at this point. I'm ready for anything. Wait, I lied! I was not ready for anything. Nope, no, so much nope.